Welcome to I Drink Your podcast.
Oh gosh, it's a real pleasure to be here. Thank you.
You leave me no choice. Here comes the smolder.
Wait, you like that?
No,
you don't like that?
No, I don't like that.
No, how about that? You like that?
A little better.
Bread makes you fat?
Does this count as annoying?
Just tell me what you want me to fuck!
Not you, and not you.
Okay, I think it's time to take off your clothes and jump me.
$1 million isn't cool. You know what's cool?
I drink your podcast. I drink it up!
Welcome back to another episode of I Drink Your Podcast. With me today is Emily.
Hi, everyone.
Our resident mother expert, Matt.
Hey.
And joining us also today is Wesley.
What am I an expert in? Nothing.
You're an expert in intellectual disabilities.
Oh my god.
Thanks. Damn.
You're welcome. Well, before we get started, I just want to go ahead and say thank you to everyone who listens to us. Please like, rate, subscribe, share us with a friend or two. Also, Spotify now does ratings, so take a second to just give us a quick 5-star rating on Spotify. That really helps us gain additional eyes on our show, which would be just wonderful for us.
And worthless because this is an audio podcast.
I was going to say that. Thank you, Wesley.
Intellectual disability expert Wesley.
Expert, keyword.
That's right. What did we watch this week?
This week, we watched Mother, and you all can watch that on Hulu and Amazon Prime. And I highly recommend you check it out.
Or Plex, if you want to watch it with commercials.
Oh, nice.
Why would you if you can watch it on Hulu and Amazon Prime?
I wish I could take back a lot of things, but that one happened last night.
Well, before we get started, what is in everyone's glass this evening? Emily, what do you got?
I went super on brand today because I went out and got a concussion, just like the girl that got murdered in this movie. So
allegedly,
I'm feeling.
That was a quick concussion followed by death.
Either way, I got hit on the head, so I'm drinking some water. It was a mean old playground that did it to me. I was playing in the snow with some of my friends' kids, and it was a great time until I stood up and walked a foot in front of me and forgot that playgrounds are short.
Yeah, you're too old to be on a playground now, Emily.
You know what, Wesley? So are you.
Oh, I've been there for a while.
Shut up.
Saying. Just saying. It's for your own safety.
Well, I went with something on brand today, too. I went with a soju, which is a Korean rice liquor. And this one is green grape flavored, and it is delicious. This is my first ever soju.
Green grape? Isn't that the same as white grape?
No, because green is a darker color than white.
Don't talk to me about colors. Expert.
Well, you're not the color expert. No. Wes, what do you got?
Mine's going to come with a little bit of audio stuff. So I went and found the only thing in my refrigerator that reminded me of my childhood and therefore my mother. So I'm drinking a Capri Sun.
Oh,
and I want to let you guys
that's so cute.
Hear how good I am at getting into these things. Look at that. Already in.
Wow.
I was gonna say that's what I said to your mom.
Yeah, already in.
Matt, what do you got?
So earlier, I spilt a water bottle, and that's what I was drinking. But here I've got a drink. I've got some whiskey and Dr. Pepper, and I'm going to call this the How You Do June. And
Oh my god!
Because I'm doing good with this drink. Yum.
For those who don't know yet, Doojun is the name of the sun character in the movie. So Matt actually did something that was on brand today, which is just shocking.
How is it on brand? Right. Other than just calling it a thing? Just the name. I've got some things out of the cupboard, and I'm drinking a Capri Sun pouch, which I'm just going to call Mother. Does that count?
It absolutely does, Wesley.
For Matt, it would absolutely count because that's about all we can expect from him.
He knows what movie we watched.
That's right.
Wesley, we're so happy to have you back with us.
Not
And
mutual.
this is your first episode of the new season, you ass.
Coming in hot, 2022.
Well, what are you excited about now that we're in 2010?
Newer movies. I'm very excited to be away from 2007. It's kind of a curse now that when I go on to any sort of streaming service, all I see are 2007 movies. And most of the time I'm like, well, I already saw that. So like both is like there aren't any options, and what did I do with my last year?
Yeah, you need those algorithms to work better.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, they really do stick out. Anytime you browse a streaming service, you're like, nope, nope, nope.
Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of newer movies, 2021 just rolled around, and I know Ben and I have talked about our favorites from 2021, but Matt, what were some of your favorite movies of 2021?
I can't remember a single movie I saw. I know I want to see the new Spider-Man. I saw some Fortnite recreations of the movie, so I bet that's going to be good. But I didn't watch any movies this year, or at least none that I could remember. Oh, that's on brand too. Amnesia.
Rub your temples, Matt.
Yeah, don't call me any names or I'll throw a big rock at your face.
Wesley, what about you?
God, it is hard to remember since I didn't see anything in the theaters. Palm Springs was 2021, wasn't it?
No, I think that was 2020.
Oh, it's been a year.
Did you see Dune?
Hell yeah, I saw Dune. Dune
I
was
saw
great.
Dune. Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I would have seen it in theaters, but
Made a Dune joke. The hell?
Did you see Shang-Chi?
yes, I did. That was very good as well. Keep going.
Did you see Encanto?
No, I haven't. I haven't seen a Pixar movie in a very long time. I haven't seen like the last 5 or 6 that have come out
Wow.
Did you see Mortal Kombat?
multiple times.
Did you see The Suicide Squad?
Oh yeah, yeah. Very
So
excited
you've
for
seen
them.
like tons of them. Which ones did you actually like?
I liked all of them.
Okay, cool. Moving on, Ben.
Wait, I thought of a movie I saw too. I only watched the first half of it and turned it off because it was bad. But the new Matrix I didn't like.
Get out of here. I loved it.
Still haven't seen it. I've heard mixed reviews though.
Once you get out of that world they created, I was like, am I supposed to know any of these characters? Ugh. And I just
Yeah, that's
turned it
Keanu
off.
Reeves.
Oh my God, Matt.
Couldn't do it. I remembered. I was like, I have the power to turn this off. I don't have to podcast about this.
Okay, let's talk about this movie.
Yeah, so this week we watched Mother, which currently sits at 96% on Rotten Tomatoes. It was South Korea's submission for Best International Film at the Oscars this year, although it was not nominated. And it made many of the top 10 lists for that year from critics, so it was heavily lauded by critics.
Why did everything I saw it on say 2009?
That's because it got its Korean release in 2009, but it didn't really hit the States until 2010.
Which is what matters to us.
Which is how we measure things, yeah. No, that's a good question, because we're going to do a lot of foreign movies that have a year that looks like it's different from what the year we're doing it in. So, yeah, we had to make a decision.
Yeah. We are the Iowa of the rest of the world's movies.
in that.
And that we're a year behind.
You guys, my brain can
I was
literally
way
not
further behind
keep
than a
up
year.
what is happening with all the things you're saying. I'm trying. It's going to be a rough one.
If you just need to take a nap, we'll understand. Or wait, naps
No.
are bad? I don't know how concussions work.
Tell the truth.
Concussion reference.
Yeah, sorry, that was a Will Smith.
Obscure.
That took me a second. I was like, wait a second. I'm the captain now. Tell the truth. Wait.
I got that one right away.
Good. This movie was directed by Bong Joon-Ho, who prior to this directed Memories of a Murder and what turned out to be our number 3 favorite film of 2007, The Host. Starring in this movie is Kim Hae-ja, who is the titular mother of the movie. She worked very closely with Bong Joon-ho on developing this movie. And Bong Joon-Ho, in fact, attempted to really cater this movie and script specifically to Kim's acting skills and the things that she was good at. So he really made this movie with her in mind for this character.
Which is so cool.
Which is how you treat a mother.
She's not a famous actress. Like, so to do that for someone who is not this well-known person is pretty crazy.
It's actually really adorable reading some of the stuff on IMDb about how in the beginning, we can talk about it later, but how he danced with her to make her feel more comfortable. And I'm like, that's so cute.
That's awesome.
Right?
That's what you feel like a director should do. You know, if you're trying to get a great picture, it's not about looking cool. It's about getting the best thing on the screen, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome.
The other person in this cast that we're going to call out is Won Bin, who played the son, Yoon Do-joon. And somehow, this guy's not in many movies. We are managing to do 2 movies that this guy is in this year. Because he is in another Korean movie we're doing later this year.
That's awesome.
Wow.
So he had a really good 2010.
Nice.
You make it sound like he's no longer with us.
No, he doesn't really do movies anymore.
Oh.
Sorry.
I'm going to rub one out in his honor.
Oh my God.
Whoa. You mean your temples?
I know what I said.
Welcome back.
Well, this is a movie that Emily and I had not seen before. Emily, you knew this movie was called Mother. You knew it was Bong Joon-Ho. What did you think this movie was about?
I thought it was about a kind old woman who was out adopting all the drunk and lost young men in her town and caring for them in her home. You know, I was like, motherly instincts. And, as they get back on their feet, they say, hey, thanks, Mom, for all her support. And then, send her more money to help care for future miserable men. But of course, it's Bong Joon-Ho, and I've seen 2 of his movies now. And I'm like, there's got to be something in there. So I feel like it needs to go in like this arsenic and the lace story where some of these young men are just absolute assholes and they're never going to achieve anything in their life. So she's just going to murder them. Has like a happy ending.
Have you not seen Snowpiercer?
No, I have.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've seen Parasite too, haven't you?
And Parasite.
Oh, shit. I've seen 3.
4.
Sorry. Concussion.
This is 4.
I've seen 4 now.
This is probably the director you've seen most.
Shut the fuck up.
But did it bother anybody else that he just kept saying mom instead of mother?
No, not at all. Who calls their mom mother?
They call the
Maybe
movie
Matt
mother.
Does. Well, okay, that's partially a translation thing because the word mother in Korean kind of looks like the word murder. And so that the way that it looks, it's supposed to be a play on murder and mother. So that doesn't translate well.
This movie does a bunch of that shit, doesn't it?
I'm just saying, since it was subtitled, they could have just said he was saying mother.
Okay, we'll get into that because I do have a qualm to pick about that. But Matt, tell us what the movie is actually about, please.
Sure. But before that, I've been watching a lot of Arrested Development lately with Shelby. And I've been thinking of Buster's like, hello, mother. So I had a lot of that while watching it. I feel like it took me right out of it, but in a good way.
The relationship between the mother and the son reminded me a lot of Lucille and Buster. So I made that connection in my brain too.
Lucille in this movie.
Did not get that.
I thought a lot about the sons of Mom from Futurama.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I'm not familiar with that.
She's a mom.
Okay.
She has sons.
They're the ones that made her a mom.
I guess I'm not the resident mom expert.
Oh, yeah, you are.
All right. DVD synopsis. A mother lives quietly with her 28-year-old son, Do-joon, providing herbs and acupuncture to neighbors. One day, a girl is brutally murdered. Uh-oh. And Do-joon is charged with the killing. Oh, no. Now it's his mother's call to prove him innocent or leave him in prison. Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, I hope that doesn't bode for anything of how Matt views the movie.
Is it time?
All of his reactions were appropriate.
Were they?
Yeah. She was murdered. Oh, no.
Oh, no. Ouch.
I can't tell if you're actually funny, Matt, or my brain is just mushy enough.
It's a great place to be. We're in the sweet spot.
I thought that synopsis was pretty good, pretty on point, pretty to the point.
I never picked up on her having a choice to leave him in prison. Like, that didn't ever seem like an option.
You know, when she raises that wrench above her head, she could not murder the guy. Right?
Yeah.
Well, but that's another problem I have, because didn't it end up that guy really had nothing to do with it other than he was a witness?
He was the witness. That's why he had to be killed.
If she didn't pull a murder, that's leaving her son in jail.
Yeah. Because he was trying to call the cops and tell them that it was for sure Do-Joon.
I loved that little convenient thing, like, oh, I'm going to do this thing that's going to make you choose right now. But also, I thought for a while there, when they first started revealing that guy, that she was going to pin it all on him.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she went there thinking it was him.
Right.
Yep.
So then, I don't know.
Oh, you mean somehow even after murdering him, making it look like it was him that did it?
Kind of. Like, something like that. Like, but I don't know. It just seemed kind of like, oh, there's a guy. Great. He's a witness. He's just some old guy.
Oh, fuck. We should never write dialogue, Wes. Oh, fuck, a witness. Damn it.
I mean, I'm skipping all to the end. We can start somewhere at least in the first half of the movie.
Because I think that it's good to jump to the end, because I feel like this movie parallels itself so well with the setup and payoff, and there's a lot of symmetry in what's happening, even with like subtle nuances of how we see Do-Joon react to someone using the R word and making fun of him in a few instances, and we see the mother like injuring herself in the beginning of the movie right away because she cares more about her son than her own safety. There's so many aspects of this that just kind of parallel back and forth, where you should know what's going to happen, but at least I was hella surprised with what happened.
No, you're definitely right. The payoff and the setup, it starts off with the mother doing like a TikTok dance out in a field. And then at the end, she's dancing, kind of showing that she's used acupuncture to forget what she's done. She forgets the murder. So
and forgets what her son's done too.
Right. Well, how much do you forget? Right? They don't really go into that. But yeah, of course, she'd forget both things. What am I talking about? How do you remember one and not the other? But
and the way that they place that acupuncture plot line just as a throwaway line between her and her son, like an hour earlier. And then, like, I completely forgot about that. And then it comes back at the end and you're like, well, obviously, like, that's how this is going to end.
Right. They bring it up 3 times. Once with her son, once with the old man, and then the third time at the end of the movie when they just visually show it. And so it's set up so fucking well for the whole movie.
The same thing with the girl's nosebleed, which seems like such just a random plot point. And then, the blood on Crazy JP's shirt, like that's what ends up getting this guy wrongfully convicted of this crime eventually.
Right. And, I thought it was just some throwaway, like you said, because in a lot of anime, Asian culture, they represent nosebleeds as someone being horny typically. And so I thought that was kind of like a caricature. But later I realized, no, that was very smart to use it that way. Because I didn't know where I was going.
Did you say corny or horny?
Horny. Did you not know that?
I thought you said horny, and I was like, what?
It is horny.
Oh, okay. Okay. Now, I originally thought you said corny.
RNY.
Well, because we've seen quite a few Bong Joon-Ho movies, and especially when we saw The Host, there were comedic elements that played into characters really well. And so I was just along for the ride. And I know that's just like one small aspect where I'm just like, this is where my brain went. But
well, and Emily, you brought up the word comedy. And I want to talk about what the critics' consensus review on Rotten Tomatoes is, because I don't feel like it's a very good
Is this
review.
a comedy?
The review says, as fleshy as it is funny, Bong Joon-ho's mother straddles family drama, horror, and comedy with a deft grasp of tone and plenty of eerie visuals. Now, first of all, what does as fleshy as it is funny mean?
It's got to be a mistranslation.
See, I was my first thought was who wrote this review? Was it someone
Who works for Rotten Tomatoes. The Rotten Tomatoes website takes all of the critics' reviews because it shoots out like a score, and then it writes a review for that score based on all of the other reviews that exist for the thing. It's like an amalgamation review.
Okay, so it's not like a person wrote it. It's like
I mean, it's a person who works for Rotten Tomatoes.
okay. Well, then I have no idea.
Yeah, that's one of those things you can write where people will hear it and be like, that could mean whatever the fuck I want it to mean. You know what I mean? Because there are like comedic elements in it, but by no means is this movie a comedy at all.
But what does fleshy mean?
And yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The word fleshy throws me off completely because I don't understand what that means in terms of a movie.
The only thing in this movie that I would consider fleshy is the noise that rock makes when it hits her in the head.
It was so satisfying.
It was a good thump.
Yeah. Oh, and there's also a good nude scene in it. Huh?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Pretty fleshy.
I forgot about that fleshy.
I was gonna say, Jin-tae, you got to see a lot of body. There's a lot of flesh.
That had me. I didn't realize it, but my jaw was clenched during that entire scene because they did the suspense aspect of that scene so well. Because she's, the mother's peering through the closet at them. And then she, as she exits with the golf club, what she thinks is the murder weapon, like, oh my God, that was so good.
And she kicks over the water.
Yeah, and then it slowly trickles and touches his fingertip, and you're just like, oh my God, is she going to get caught?
Right.
It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Going from something that suspenseful to right after it when she realizes it's lipstick and the police officers are all just kind of like, this fucking woman, we shouldn't even listen to her. She's absolutely bonkers. She's just an old lady, And so the tone of the movie kind of goes back and forth where you want to root for her, but at the same time, like she is just like an older woman that has like this stigma from the community, if that makes sense. Like there's definitely a way that the community views her that we see right at the beginning of the movie with her doing, I guess, illegal acupuncture, and also like her trying to get everyone at the murder scene to defend her son who is there waving at everyone.
She also like bold move going to the victim's funeral.
Right. And that's what I mean. Like you have so many different things happening that I wasn't always sure where my emotions were in this movie. The tone just kind of flips around a lot, but it does it in an expert way, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Prior to that scene where she's trapped in the closet during the sex scene, there's her going into the house and looking in the closet, and she sees something at the back of the closet. And Bong Joon-ho does something really cool where he puts the mother right in front of the eye line of what she's looking at, to the point where I was trying to like move around her. Like I'm Joaquin Phoenix in Signs, where I'm like, move, children, move. It's really interesting filmmaking to do it that way, to be hiding things from us and also having visual representations where things are hidden from us. Like the script does such a good job of keeping us in the dark enough to be interested, but also giving us enough to work with to where you could piece it together just like the mother is.
Oh, yeah.
Wesley, what do you think?
I like being in the dark.
Yeah.
He's always leaving you a nice trail of breadcrumbs, where your main character gets called the R word and it sets him off into a fit of rage. And the first time it happens, it's just kind of like, oh, that's a funny thing. It happens again. And you're like, oh, this is just funny. It's a character trait. And then that's the reason he commits the murder. So like it's kind of interesting because it's like it's been right in front of your face the whole time, but we've just been so, immersed in this viewing experience that it's been hidden from us. So it does a wonderful job.
And even the rock being thrown at him at the beginning of the movie, right before the murder happens, we get the impression that someone throws a rock at him and he like goes, what's happening? And then he leaves. Like, it just cuts right there. And we just assume as the audience that was it. That was the end. He was too drunk to do anything. But it's set up so perfectly that, of course, he could have done something with this giant rock.
Well, they also do a pretty good job of making you think about something else immediately after it cuts from the rock, because then the next scene, I'm pretty sure, is him crawling into bed with his mom face to face in a very awkward position to be sleeping in the same bed as your mother.
Was he grabbing her boob?
Yeah.
Because it definitely looks like he was
definitely
grabbing
was.
her boob.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a different culture.
Well, no, it's not just that, though. It's not just that. You can't just say different culture, but like...
I'm the mother expert here.
Okay, fine, Matt, you go for it.
No, I was making a joke, but you're absolutely right.
No, like reflecting back on it, when you think about someone who is your mother, they're your caregiver, and having someone with an intellectual disability in the movie, it's not abnormal for that to happen as like a comfort thing. I definitely thought it was a little strange, but like I said, as I'm reflecting on it, I'm going, well, like if you think a little bit more about the connotation about a mom nursing a child, like yes, this man is an adult, but at the same time, he still has like this childlike innocence with his disability. And so like, even though for us, it was probably something that stood out really weird, it still seemed kind of sweet now that I'm reflecting on it, where, he had this traumatic event and he's trying to forget it maybe, and he's having this moment of comfort.
Do they ever actually say that he was disabled in any way? I know they hint at it, like people tease him about it and they talk behind his back about it, but like I don't remember a point where it was like confirmed that he wasn't just kind of a weird guy.
I don't know if they ever do. I think it's mostly just supposed to be implied.
Yeah, I think
in behavior.
I think you're absolutely right.
I agree too. I think it's supposed to be implied, but that does make it a little bit difficult to view it from how Emily was just saying with nursing and caring for an infant, if it's just a guy who can't remember things versus somebody who's actually disabled.
Also, he's getting wasted. That's kind of strange. Right? Getting drunk?
Why is that strange?
Well, I don't know. Like, I guess I just don't picture... I mean, like, I have no idea, but I just don't picture somebody that's, like, mentally challenged at all.
See?
Being able to go out on their own and...
That's kind of the point.
Wasted.
I think it has to do, though, with, like, severity of intellectual disabilities, because you have people who, autism, Down syndrome, there's a wide array of intellectual disabilities that a person could have. Like, even if you think of, like, Forrest Gump, which is another movie that this movie kind of reminded me of, Forrest Gump had intellectual disabilities. Like, he was a functioning adult, but he had the lowered intellectual capacity.
No, that's a good point.
And honestly, I didn't feel like it needed to be said that he was disabled in any way, shape, or form, because they did such a good job with his character and with the people in the community around him. Even just his mom saying over and over again about how beautiful and how handsome he is. She's emphasizing the positive traits because I feel like she was almost embarrassed of having to care for him in a way that most moms wouldn't have to.
I totally see what you're saying, and I'm just making a point to make a point. But also, I didn't think that the mom was disappointed with him. Like, I don't know. I kind of thought that she was obsessed.
The mom clearly has mental issues as well. I think we can all agree.
Murder,
with that.
suicide? Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was talking about the acupuncture stuff.
But the reveal that she tried to have her son drink like pesticide and kill him and then kill herself, like she's clearly not a stable woman.
Ooh, that scene was hard. That couple lines of dialogue back to back, like as it's a very quick reveal of something so huge, but like it's this immediate like, oh my god, how could you do that, to her like telling her point of view of, well, I had to take care of you first, and that I wasn't gonna die first and let you live. It's like, okay, that's really
as fleshy as it is funny.
Maybe they accidentally said fleshy instead of flashy, because there were like flashes of like memory and flashes of remembering stuff. For
maybe
example,
they meant fishy.
Let's go fishing. Because Jin-tae. No, okay.
Jin-tae, that's a character we haven't even gotten to yet.
That's not true. I mentioned his
We talked
shirt
about his
off
fleshy.
and the sex scene.
I thought he was awesome. I loved how, he started off as like the main suspect and then turned out to be sort of a badass.
After he extorts the mother for $5,000.
And pulls up with his nice new car with his teenage girlfriend.
Hey.
Yeah, but when he kicks that guy in the face, that was awesome.
Oh shit, that was awesome.
Well, and the same kind of thing with the mother explaining herself for trying to kill him. When Jin-tae is talking to the mother and saying like, of course I'm gonna look after him, he's my friend, and it's just like, I forgive you for everything you've ever done.
Right. Before we get into good, bad, and weird, I wrote a letter today to someone that I think this person can help me. So I wanted to reach out to them. So, dear organizer of the Thank You Parents Tour.
Oh my god.
Korean bus dance party looks fun as shit. And I'm just wondering how I can get an invite, or better yet, please plan my next corporate outing. I've done a party bus before for my bachelor party to great success. Although I got too drunk before getting on the bus and have no real memories of what happened on the bus. But I'm fairly certain
memories.
Korean bus dance party was not what occurred. Please help me to make my next party bus similar to what I saw in this movie. P.S. You will have to provide the Koreans, and they are a must-have. Thank you,
No.
Ben.
I can tell you for sure that it was not a Korean dance party on that bus. Unless Korean dance party means losing a tooth while doing a keg stand driving down the highway.
Who lost a fucking tooth? Oh my god.
That was my uncle's friend, wasn't it? Brent?
Yeah.
They were trying to do keg stands on the bus as it was
While
driving down
35.
35, so 70 miles an hour.
And then driving
That's so
home, the driver
fucking
was falling
stupid.
asleep.
And Brent is not a small guy. He's got to be 250.
It was a casino, right? Too, like
Ho Chi
We
Minh.
went down to the casino. No, not.
yeah. So we had the Koreans.
It was
Got him.
the confidence with which you said Ho Chi Minh when it's Diamond Joe's.
I just knew it had a trail in it.
Oh
dear.
no. Oh god. Wesley.
Okay, good, bad, and weird of this movie. First off, who won this movie?
I think we all can agree that it was Kim Hae-sha, the mom. I think we all can agree that she fucking nailed it. She was so good in every aspect. And obviously, knowing the background with Bong Joon-ho, working with her so closely to develop this movie and work with her strengths is fantastic. But every single emotional scene, or even just like the little nuances of her just walking to try to discover something new, it just was outstanding. Every part of the movie.
Yeah, I think what really struck me with her performance was her eyes. And as I was thinking about that, I started wondering how much of that is because it was subtitled. And so I'm reading when people are talking, and then I'm really only watching the movie while action is happening. So I really only took notice of those points where nobody was talking. That's why I don't like foreign movies, because I missed half the movie. But
That's not true. You just gotta read faster.
okay, well, I'm 35. I think I know how fast I can possibly read. That ship has sailed. But also, I think that Do-Joon, for me, was winning in that movie because he was so weird and just like mannerisms, and after he killed the girl, his like little turnaround spinning over and over again, checking his phone like after half a second. I don't know, it was just really, really unique, and it kept you guessing. Even after he threw the rock at her, I still was like, yeah, but who really killed her?
Well, and a lot of that has to do with just the idea of unreliable narrators, which is put forth within this movie, because you never really know who to trust or who's giving an accurate representation of what really happened. Like, even after the guy says, yeah, Du-Jun did it, there's still a lingering thing in your brain where you're like, well, did he really do it? Like, is this just another misdirect?
And Jin-tae even told the mother, don't trust anyone, even me.
Mm-hmm.
And so there is this element of you can't trust anyone or anything in this movie.
I really thought it was the mother that killed her. That was my first guess. So that she had just been following Du-Jun around drunk, and then when he started approaching a girl,
How does that make sense?
she was stalking him.
I don't hate that idea.
Yeah,
I do.
I sort of hate that idea.
One or two different plants of information, and that could very easily have been the ending we got.
I know, but
then what's her motivation? You know,
this
she
was
doesn't
just
want
so
Du-Jun to fall in
satisfying
love.
to me.
There's 3 motivations for murder, as the movie tells us. There's money, passion, and vengeance.
Or drunk.
the fourth unnamed motive.
My winner is Bong Joon-Ho, the writer, because I think this script does such a great job of just hiding things in plain sight. And then the turns that happen are still like surprises, even though you should be able to piece together everything. And then it does such a great balancing act of genres and tones for the entirety of its movie. Like, some scenes feel very horror aspect, some feel very thriller mystery, and then there's even some comedic scenes like what we get on the golf course.
Yeah, I agree. But Matt, you're in my corner, right? The mother was the best.
She was my favorite, but I think the winner for me, or the winningest, is going to be the cinematography. You know, we've talked about some of the things that we get to see and we don't get to see, and I think that was all built around making the mother the most interesting dynamic character. But you know, just like some of the suspense they were able to hold over me throughout the film was just insane, and I was just like on the edge of my seat, jaw clenched, didn't know what to say or do. I was just like, and then I realized I unclenched my jaw, you know. But the cinematographer's name is Hong Pao. I'm totally butchering that, but he's worked with Bong Joon-Ho a lot on a bunch of different stuff. So yeah,
I completely agree. I thought the cinematography was beautiful and haunting. You know, I texted Wesley and was like, dude, I didn't know what I was going to expect, but that opening title sequence, just you wait. And just, there were some other really amazing scenes. Matt, you already mentioned the sneaking out the golf club and the water bottles and just how that was shot, watching the water slowly trickle to Jin-tae's hand. But there are also moments of quiet where the camera was focused on the mom and the setting of where she was. And I'm thinking of 2 scenes in particular. One was the mom walking to the junk collector's home, where it was really far away, and she's wearing her blue outfit, which I did not recognize as the blue outfit at the beginning of the movie, but that might just be my concussion. And then there was another scene when she and her son fight about, you know, her almost killing them both. She's leaving and it's pouring rain. And the guy behind her, one of the police officers, trying to give her an umbrella, but she just keeps walking and things get blurry behind her, but the camera is still. And so she's just getting closer and closer, but over on the side of the shot. And I just thought that was such a lovely way of showing how depressed and rejected she felt.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking of 2 scenes with her as well that were, like you were saying, more a landscape shot, and it's earlier in the movie, and unless I'm thinking of the same one where she's walking to the old guys, but when she's like walking down a winding path in just like grass and stuff, I don't know, it just looked gorgeous because you were like going down a huge hill, but it was a nice winding path, and the angle they shot it was really interesting. And then the other one is right after she does steal the golf club and she runs out the front door as he comes out. And then it cuts to her hiding down below the driveway. Oh, that was so cool. I think mostly just because I was like, I've never seen that kind of like driveway before. And they made it seem like such a, he's not rich by any means. He just had to steal $5,000 from her to buy a car. So that's just normal house. I want that.
What's the color report on this movie, Wesley?
Bland.
Yeah.
Desaturated?
No, it wasn't overly done. Like it wasn't shoot 'em up or anything like that.
Okay.
But yeah, it just, I don't know. They didn't really have any bright pops of color that I remember. Then again, I was reading half the time, so way to go, white.
So I had two favorite scenes that I wanted to call out, and the first one is when Jin-tae is sitting at the son's desk and the mother walks in and you see the first glimpse of Do-jun, like she's seeing her son there, and then it goes back and it's Jin-tae actually. Like that had a very horror movie feel to it, where he's blackmailing her. I really enjoyed that scene. And then the reveal at the end that crazy JP is even more disabled than her son. Like that was a very powerful twist for me that I feel really worked because, and then you hear like he doesn't have a family to fight for him, even though she knows he didn't do it. Like she's got this tremendous guilt that she's feeling. I thought that was just a really impactful scene to put right at the end.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Makes it even clearer that she wants to forget.
The insert of her acupuncture needles as her son gives it back to her, and they're like, hey, you got to be careful about leaving this at a murder scene. You know, that was sort of like very powerful. I mean, I'm
sort of very
obviously I'm paraphrasing, but
I also really like the line where Do-jun is talking to his mom at the end, and he's like, I bet he put her on the roof so that someone would come see her.
That was kind of chilling.
Yeah, it was chilling, but you could also see like he doesn't know what he did.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
He truly thinks that this other guy did it, even though he was the one that did it. And I thought that was just a really, really cool line to put there to just kind of continue the unreliable narrator idea of like what really happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like walking himself logically through why someone did all of that, and of course it lines up
As
with what he
logically as
did
he
because
can.
because he's the one who did it.
Right. There were a couple other favorite parts for me, like the slow reveal of Do-jun being the killer from the junk collector's perspective, how that was shot, you know, between the cracked windows and everything.
yeah.
I
Voyeur.
love that they chose that perspective to show it that way. I thought that was so cool, but at the same time, I was so shocked. I couldn't believe that it happened, but at the same time, everything made sense all at once. I'm like, oh, okay. Yep, I get this now. But then another one of my favorite parts was when Jin-tae is interrogating the two boys. And there was the moment where the one boy that got his teeth knocked out, and it's cutting between him telling the story and Ah-jung, the girl who's murdered, in his lap. Oh my God, was that cool?
Yeah.
I don't know how do you come up with shit like that? That was so fucking cool.
Yeah. that was my favorite shot of the movie, Emily, and what I was going to bring up, because it's such minimalist filmmaking to do it like that, and to be able to draw the parallels between him talking to Jin-tae and then him talking to Ah-jung. Like, we don't need a flashback in that scene. Like, just show us what she's feeling and what she's thinking in that scene and utilize the space that you have to tell both of those stories at once. It's a genius way of doing that scene.
Mm.
It's
a good
scene.
Well, it seems like we all really liked a lot of aspects of this movie, but was there anything that we didn't like about the movie? Any bad stuff?
I mean, my bad isn't even really a bad. It was just something that I thought was a little underdeveloped and left me asking more questions than providing answers.
Okay.
And that's the interrogation scene. Because I didn't understand the part with the apple.
Ah.
The apple where the guy kicks it out of his mouth. I didn't understand that. And it also seemed like an interrogation technique that wouldn't need to be used on someone like Do-jun, who they know has the intellectual disability. Like, he seemed very pliable in that moment, someone who could be manipulated to do whatever they asked anyway, that those types of interrogation techniques wouldn't necessarily be needed to get someone to confess like him. Like, it reminded me a lot of, for those who have seen Making a Murderer, Brandon Dassey, where they're getting the confession out of him for this crime that, like, maybe he committed, maybe he didn't, but he's very just, like, easily manipulated into doing whatever they want because he's got this respect for authority and doesn't want to upset people.
Yeah, but it was a really cool stunt.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When half that apple
totally
was
worth
gone,
it.
I was like, oh my God. It's like, why is he taking such a big bite of this apple? Like, it was super secure. And I was like, oh, so the guy could kick it out of his mouth.
Yeah.
But then did you guys catch that when he started to not be convincing or whatever further on in the interrogation, and the guy goes to grab another apple to put it in his mouth, but the other apples around it are all rotten and like gooey?
Yeah, he doesn't get to do his trick very often.
Didn't see that.
Apples are only for the kicks.
Yeah, he doesn't get to do his William Tell karate all the time.
Brilliant.
I will say there's a few things that I didn't like. I didn't like how I couldn't figure out what was the Korean word for the R word. You know,
so you can expand your repertoire.
So I could just, for learning purposes, and then and then I don't know. It's sort of left the debt with the mother and the money and how much in poverty that was a little unresolved. But other than that,
I can understand that.
Good movie.
I wish they just would have spoken in English.
Okay, so speaking of that, the subtitles weren't terrible. I watch a lot of things with subtitles, but I feel like there was a lot of translation that didn't get to the audience. And this happens a lot in foreign films where there might be more comedic elements, or there might be more suspense, or there might be something culturally that we're missing. And so I feel like I'm missing the full extent of the story because it was in Korean and I don't understand Korean, and it makes me want to like learn all of these languages so I can understand more of the movie. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I just think that when people are working together to put subtitles, you're always going to miss some translation. And so that wasn't like bad. It just was hard to sit there and go, okay, I think I believe that these subtitles are right.
Yeah, especially because it's like, you know, it's been fucked up before. You know what I mean? You've missed all that nuance before, and then somebody told you what these characters actually meant in a different foreign film. Like, I was watching this TikTok about a Squid Game, right? And it was like, no, these characters actually meant this, and they just boiled it down to this bullshit English, you know, and you were missing all this nuance. So 100%, I totally feel that doubt creeping in when you're reading subtitles and you're like, is that really what they meant? You know, especially with their facial expressions. It's like you almost don't even need the English more than you could just see it on their faces.
So it's an actual unreliable narrator?
Absolutely. And that's always going to happen when you have translations like this, because the cultural significance of words sometimes can't be translated. Like, there's going to be things that they say there where there is no English translation to this that doesn't boil it down to something that's just like inherently easy for us to understand that's kind of similar. So that's going to happen with every foreign thing that you watch.
And I think that another reason that becomes difficult to get that kind of translation is because, specifically in this movie, they were really weird characters. Like, this isn't just the normal story about, you know, somebody falling in love. Like, it's not a romantic comedy or something like that that I understand.
What a different movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stepmother.
I feel like if the director was directly involved with the transcription, you know, into English, but that means that Bong Joon-Ho would have to be is he bilingual? I mean,
I think he knows enough to get by in interviews, but I'm sure he's not to the point where he could translate something into English perfectly.
And the amount of time that you have to spend to do something like that. You know, it's outstanding that we found such an appreciation for this with the translation that happened. You know, like it is a hard job to be a translator and get the full impact of what the artist wants, but also like compressing it down so that viewers can read a short amount within the scene.
Right. Yeah, and I don't mean to say like this transcription was bad or anything like that. It's just one of those things where it's like you really have to keep in mind what the director and the characters are trying to convey in any certain scene.
Which is why I said it's not like bad, but it was probably the thing that I wanted most out of it, is I wanted to know Korean, or I wanted better subtitles. Not that I'm saying that they were bad in any way, shape, or form, because I don't know. But I feel like there were parts that I was missing. I feel like with the emotions and the faces, because yes, Wesley, I do read fast. I did get a lot more out of the visual than the words.
Well, my weird has to do with words also, so let's jump into my weird. And it's during the sex scene.
I don't want to jump into your weird.
Not enough feet, right, Ben?
The couple are saying random words as they're fucking. And the first word they say is spaghetti.
Yeah.
And then it's tiramisu and tsunami and mineral and armadillo. And like, I didn't understand what was happening.
Okay.
During that scene.
Speaking of Arrested Development from earlier, the first two words, this is where I went with the Arrested Development. I thought it was Job reading to Lucille 2, the dessert menu and with club sauce. So that's where I went, but then it got weird after that.
Also, the word in Korean for spaghetti is spaghetti. That took me right out of it, because right all of a sudden I think they're speaking English, and I'm like, what is happening?
Wait, what?
Why did he say spaghetti?
Do you want to know how to say spaghetti in sign language?
Yeah, please tell me. Really?
Spaghetti.
Yeah, you take your pinkies and you spin them.
Spaghetti.
Wow.
Yum.
Any other weird?
The only thing that I said was weird besides the apple scene was Jin-tae dating a high schooler. It just took me out of it. I know that like you could probably defend and say maybe she's in college or going to school separately, but no, she was definitely a high schooler. University. And it was fucking weird. And I get they're trying to show Jin-tae as like this kind of creepy guy, but at the same time I was like, why? Just creepy. No. I don't want to deal with this schoolgirl image and this creepy older guy.
What was the deal with him peeing on the wall and it going into something and then the herbs smelled bad? Were those tied together?
What?
That was weird, wasn't it? His mom giving him soup while he was peeing on the wall?
Yeah, after checking him out for medicine. A minute.
Come on!
I thought it was more like she couldn't believe that he was standing there peeing in public when they had a bathroom.
I mean, she didn't seem to care after she got him drinking the soup.
Yeah, she just like stomped right through that pee.
Well, she tried to like cover it up.
Well, yeah.
Stomped right through it.
But then they show like an interior shot near the ground that it's going into some building. And then like not too much longer, she's in her herb shop and somebody comes in and says like it smells like death in here or something like that. And I was like, are they talking about his pee?
Oh, I didn't get that. I thought they were just being mean to her.
I thought the herbs just smelled.
So where did the pee go?
See, this is why we need better subtitles, Wesley. We're missing something, especially
Where did the pee go?
I demand answers.
That's the ultimate mystery of this movie. Yeah.
Hashtag where did the pee go?
Hashtag Peegate.
We want answers.
All right. Okay, so then let's put a cork in it. Let's wrap this sucker up. What did we like about it? What do we recommend it? All that shit. Wesley.
Definitely would recommend it. It was after the surprise of our 2007 movie, The Host, I, kind of have expectations now. And it wasn't the same kind of thrill as The Host or some of his more recent movies like Parasite and Snowpiercer. But that said, it was still just an incredibly good movie, even though I had to read it.
And good even with commercials, huh?
Oh my God. I was up until 2:30 last night trying to watch it because I finished the football games, and then Emily said the Pudio one wasn't working, but she had it on Hulu, so I just searched for it, and it was on Plex, and I started watching, and it was like, Ben, you remember my reaction when we were watching Degrassi and there were commercials? Yeah, it was worse. It was way worse just by myself last night at like 2 a.m. going like, another 5 minutes of commercials?
Yeah, I'm trying to picture where it just cut you off like in the middle of a suspenseful scene or something.
It was like every 10, 15 minutes.
Okay, Ben.
Highly recommend it. Very good script, very good direction, excellent acting, just all around an enjoyable watch, and one that kept me guessing up until the end, even though in retrospect, I probably should have been able to piece together it well enough to predict what was going to happen, but I didn't. So excellent job for everybody.
Yeah, I think it's worth watching from the perspective of a filmmaker. But if you've listened to the end of this podcast, you've gotten all the significant beats and reveals. So possibly not worth watching, if I'm going to be honest. I'd say a lot of this movie is the reveal. So yeah, it's a great movie, though. And I'm glad I watched it. But I'm sorry if I've ruined it for you. And you haven't seen it.
I am by no means endorsing that people take this as a substitute for watching the movie.
Bong Joon-Ho intended everybody to experience this movie through the eyes of I Drink Your Podcast.
It was a match 12 years later.
Emily.
I really liked this movie. I wish I didn't have a concussion where I had to stop every 15 minutes.
Oh, you should have watched it my way.
Effect. Right. Every 5. I think that even if you do know what happens at the end, it is definitely worth watching again and seeing the care and the love that went into this movie, the script, the acting, the cinematography, everything. It by far was one of my favorite movies of 2010 so far. So I think everyone should give it a chance. And hang in there, because I know that Bong Joon-ho likes to build things slowly and meticulously, and it's just delightful.
What's your favorite idea? Mine is being creative.
How do you get the idea?
I just tried to think creatively.
Here we go. We're gonna have to dig deep in some memories for this first one. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
There's gotta be a memory, boys, when you were all in high school together and you all hung out. There's got to be a memory that you all want blocked with acupuncture. What is it? Tell us your embarrassing story.
I refuse to get a needle in me for any reason. I'll take all my memories, please.
I've actually blocked all my memories with marijuana. Very, very effective. I guess I would block out the memory that I was on a JV soccer team up until my senior year. Senior year, I never made varsity. And even in the varsity game, they're like, oh, we'll bring the seniors that are JV on and they could play like a half or something. I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want your pity playtime, Bovard.
Even I made it on the varsity team.
What was your job? What was your role?
Manager.
Intellectual disability expert Wesley.
Expert.
Me and Wes actually played. The soccer coach was also the chess advisor, and we played competitive chess in high school.
Whoa.
So.
Really blowing up my shit over here.
Yeah, I guess you're gonna have to get some needles. Forget it up.
I would choose to forget this. Ben, you gotta have something.
With all the stupid shit I did, I have to have something. All I can think of, though, is just like my heart condition in high school. I wish I didn't have to remember
you kept falling in love.
The trauma from that. Yeah, that heart condition. Yeah.
Didn't you eat a cigarette out of an ashtray at a bowling alley once?
No
that
regrets.
Sounds like Ben.
No regrets.
He wants to remember that forever.
It's a cautionary tale.
I don't want to forget that child's face as he watched me chomp down on that cigarette butt.
Yeah. Otherwise, he'd be doing it as an adult. He's learned his lesson.
That's right.
Another good lesson for everybody out there is don't shotgun a can of warm Diet Coke at a Christian music festival.
No, disagree. Just don't go to a Christian music festival.
Are we ready for the next one?
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah, we are. Number 2. Are there any other movie moms that would go to these extremes for their child? There's gotta be one, right?
Yeah. Your mama sure does care about your schooling, boy. It's Forrest Gump's mom. She would absolutely do this.
Yes.
Murder for your child.
Sally Field.
Bobby Boucher's mom.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Kathy Bates. Two good answers.
I don't know who that is. What
You not
movie
seen
is this?
Waterboy?
Waterboy?
No.
Oh, I think it came out before you were born.
That's not
It's
true. 98.
so good.
Haha. Oh, is that Adam Sandler? I don't want to see that.
You playing foosball again, Bobby Boucher? It's so good, Emily. It's so good. His early stuff is so good.
Yes.
I can't think of any. I said Lucille from
It's not a
Arrested
movie, and
Development
she
earlier.
for sure would not do shit.
No. Lucille would do nothing for her baby boy Buster.
Maybe Lucille
I
too.
don't know. I can't think of anybody.
Just name a mom.
Bambi's mom.
She wouldn't do shit.
She took a bullet.
I can't think of a single mom. Is there a mom in the Goonies? Did she leave?
I don't think we ever. Oh, I think at the end we see their parents.
There are lots of moms in the Goonies. They all come at the end and hug their little children.
Technically, every movie has to have moms in it.
Everybody has a mom.
In their own universe, at least.
Yeah.
All babies want to be born.
Juno.
Juno. Yes.
Oh yeah, you could have picked so many movies from 2007. There were so many
Daniel
pregnant ladies.
Or the deaf boy's mom from There Will Be Blood.
Why are you picking movies that that basically doesn't have a mom?
It's fine.
Okay. Last one, number 3. You remember the cool lawyer man and his little posse, and they're all hanging out at karaoke?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
What song are you singing at karaoke with his posse?
Tequila.
Great karaoke song.
I Saw the Sign, Ace of Base.
Ooh. I want to say Gangnam Style, but I don't know the words. So I'm going to go with Alcohol by Bare Naked Ladies.
You know that karaoke gives you the words, right? Like,
more reading, Emily. If I don't know the song, I ain't singing it. I'm not going to read in front of people. Who do you think I am?
Now let's all agree to never be creative again.
Well, yeah. I got a game for all of us to play today.
Well, yeah.
Shall we play a game?
I despise guessing games.
This great game. Makes you think and it helps your memory.
Let the games begin.
So everyone gets to play this one, and if you listen to our I Am Legend episode from last season, we played a game called Castaway, and we're going to bring that game back again. So I'm going to give you the year a movie comes out, followed by the top 4 build cast members from that movie, starting with the lowest build and moving towards the top. If you can guess the movie after the year, you get 5 points. After the 4th build person, you get 4 points, 3 for third, 2 for second, 1 for first. Each game will have a theme, and this week's theme is Family Matters. So all of the movies will have a relation in the title.
Steve Urkel will be in all of these movies. That's the game we're playing.
By coincidence. I didn't plan it that way, but Jaleel White is in all of these movies. Yeah, Emily.
Also, I think last time we played, you have to say your name as your buzzer. And you only get 1 guess each movie.
You get 1 guess per movie. Yes.
Because I'm sure Matt and Wesley have not listened to I Am Legend.
No, but I know this game.
Yes, he does. Okay, so this movie came out in 1972. Starring Diane Keaton, James Caan, Al Pacino.
Emily?
Go ahead, Emily.
Oh, I'm so wrong. Is it a Godfather movie?
Which one?
Oh, I have to pick one? Shit. The first one.
Correct. The Godfather.
Oh, shit.
Good job, Emily.
Nice.
Okay, next one.
Shit.
1989.
Shout out to Taylor Swift.
Starring Gabby Hoffman. Jean Louise Kelly.
I don't know who these people are.
Macaulay Culkin. And John Candy.
Is there any penalty for being wrong?
No.
Matt, the good son?
It is not the good son. That is a good guess, though.
Wes. Uncle Buck?
It is Uncle Buck. Good job, Wesley.
Damn.
I'm Uncle Buck and I like to party.
Nope. No.
Never heard of that before. I'm glad I didn't guess because I don't know what that is.
Okay, next one, 2005. Peter Ratimick.
What?
Monica Bellucci. Heath Ledger. And Matt Damon. 3, 2, 1. That one is the Brothers Grimm.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't have known that.
We're bad at this game.
That's okay. Next one, 1991. Starring Kimberly Williams. Martin Short.
Emily?
Go ahead, Emily.
Father of the Bride?
That is correct.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Good job, Emily.
You know why I knew that?
Motherfucker in that movie.
Because Ben once told me that Martin Short was in a movie with
Are you telling me
Stephen
you
Martin.
haven't seen that movie?
Nope, I haven't.
I never have either. I thought he was talking about Captain Ron, but that's not a relative.
Next one, 2008. Starring Greg Kinnear.
I don't know who that is, but I know the name.
Sigourney Weaver.
That guy.
Is this 2008?
Yep. Amy Poehler.
Oh, fuck. I can picture the DVD cover.
And Tina Fey.
Oh, Emily.
Go ahead, Emily.
Baby Mama.
Correct.
Fuck yeah.
How is Emily winning this game?
I don't know. I have a concussion, you ass.
Next one.
Secret power. Hey, why aren't you doing anything?
2017.
Oh, shit. I was going to say, why aren't you doing any from 2007?
Nope, not from 2007. 2017. Starring Retta. Glenn Close. Ed Helms. And Owen Wilson.
I have no idea.
3.
Those people have never been in a movie together.
Fucking bad at this.
1. That is Father Figures.
I don't know what that is.
Next one, 2017. Again.
Ooh, Father Figures.
Nope, not this time. Starring Michelle Pfeiffer. Ed Harris.
Oh, no.
Javier Bardem. And Jennifer Lawrence.
I've heard of this movie. I can't remember what it is, though.
Wes.
Go ahead, Wes.
Vicky Cristina Barcelona. Aunt.
No. No.
Shit.
Okay. 3, 2.
Oh, come on, guys. Guess something.
1.
Dad Hunger Games.
Was he right?
No, he was not right. Okay. That one was Mother.
Oh, with an exclamation point.
With an exclamation point.
Ben.
Yeah.
I should have just guessed it. I should have just guessed it because I typed in Mother and saw the two of them. And I think one of them has Michelle Pfeiffer, the picture for so.
Okay, the next one, 2009. Starring Sam Shepard. Tobey Maguire. Natalie Portman.
Oh, God, I know this one, but I don't know the fucking name of it.
And Jake Gyllenhaal.
She fucks the brother. They're both in the military. Come on. It's something.
3.
Emily.
Go ahead, Emily.
Brother fucker.
Oh, not close. Not quite.
Brother Town or something.
No, not Brother Town. 3.
God damn it.
2. 1.
Sister Liquor.
It's called Brothers.
Oh my God.
Just Brothers.
Brother fucker was close.
Okay, next one. 2015. Starring Elizabeth Debicki, Alicia Vikander.
I don't know these people.
She's from Ex Machina.
Oh, yeah.
Armie
right.
Hammer.
He's from the military.
Oh, I got this. Uncle.
Wes.
Emily, Uncle.
The man from Uncle.
Correct,
Are you
Wesley.
fucking kidding me? Oh my God, no.
Good job,
That's
Wesley.
Not fair.
Play by the rules.
Uncle wasn't right anyway. I wouldn't have given you just Uncle.
What was the name of the movie?
I have a concussion.
You're still winning.
The man from Uncle.
The man
from Uncle?
Yeah.
Okay. Last one, also 2015. Starring Ike Barinholtz.
Oh,
Who the fuck is that?
he's hilarious.
Maya Rudolph. Tina Fey.
Matt.
Go ahead, Matt.
Baby Mama?
No, so we already did Baby Mama.
Mm.
And lastly, Amy Poehler.
Oh, Emily.
Go ahead, Emily.
Sisters.
It is Sisters.
Didn't watch it, but I saw a trailer for it.
Good job, Emily. Emily
Good
wins
job.
7 to Wes's 3 to Matt's. Thank you for playing.
You're going to cut out all the ones that we missed, right?
No, I'm leaving them in.
No, but we look so dumb.
You got 6 out of 9.
Me?
Hell
No,
yeah.
as a group, 6 out of 9 of them. That's about what Cinephiles did.
Then how did Emily get 7?
She got 2 points for some of them, 3 points for some of them because she got them earlier than the last person.
I forgot there was a variety of.
Yeah. God, I'm angry about the man from Uncle.
The uncle
I'm
from
angry
Man.
about winning, but not by enough.
Well, no, I was said Uncle, and then I was gonna spell it because I couldn't remember, and I was like, is it called Uncle or is it just UNCLE? And then I couldn't remember how to spell Uncle because my brain stopped.
Well, I'm here to pick up the pieces.
Thanks.
Run her
You're
over the
welcome.
goal line.
Good luck in math class tomorrow.
It's gonna be a fucking shit show.
Well, thank you everybody for listening to us. Please like, rate, subscribe, share us with a friend or two, and join us next week as we watch the movie Monsters. And we'll have Dylan here with us. And this is another movie that Emily and I have not seen. So check us out again next week. You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at IDYP_podcast or email us at idrinkyourpodcast@gmail.com. And Emily will have a synopsis for us next week.
Hell yeah.
Just knowing that the movie is called Monsters is all you're going to get.
Mike Wazowski.
Yeah, it's not Monsters Incorporated, right?
Everyone stay away from playgrounds. They're mean.
And before we go, as tradition, we have someone say, I drink your podcast, I drink it up. So Wesley, since you have not done that for us before, give us in your best Daniel Day-Lewis impression, I drink your podcast, I drink it up.
Okay. I drink your milkshake podcast. I drink it up.
Should we start a podcast about milkshakes?
I think we have to.
I think we have to now.
Yeah, spin
My
off.
butt's gonna explode.
Bonus episodes.
Okay, bye everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Stay away from playgrounds.